Are you sick of being stuck, scared, and unable to move forward in your life? Fear of failing, being rejected, and not knowing what will happen can hold you back. But what if you could break free? The famous samurai Miyamoto Musashi learned how to be brave, and his lessons can help you get over the 6 biggest fears that are holding you back. We'll show you his wisdom in this video so that you can get over your fears and take charge of your life. Are you ready to change your life and face your fears? Step 1. Fear of failure. One of the main fears that keeps people from acting is the fear of failing. People are afraid to try new things because they don't want to make mistakes or look bad. But Musashi thought that failing was an important part of getting better. He said something famous: think little of yourself and much of the world. This means we shouldn't let our fears or failures get to us too much. We should instead think about the bigger picture and how each event can help us learn and grow. It's not the opposite of success to fail. It's a part of the way to success. We can't make progress if we don't fail. Musashi worked on getting better at swordsmanship for years, and he had failures along the way. Every lost fight and mistake he made while training gave him a chance to get better and change. We need to think the same way. Start changing how you think about loss to get over your fear of it. Failure should be seen as feedback, not as the end of the story. We learn something from every mistake. You should say, I learned instead of I failed. Successful people don't try to avoid failing. Instead, they learn from it. Thomas Edison reportedly said, I have not failed. He was the person who invented the light bulb. I just thought of 10,000 ways this won't work. Musashi also stressed being able to change. Change your plan and try again if the first one doesn't work. A fighter doesn't run away out of fear. Instead, they find another way to win. When you're afraid of failing, tell yourself that problems are what make you grow. To get over your fear of failing, you can do things like set small goals that you can reach and slowly make them harder. You can boost your confidence and strength by taking small steps. Every mistake is a chance to learn and keep going forward. Step 2. Fear of rejection. It hurts to be rejected. No one likes being told no, whether it's in a relationship, at work, or in their personal life. A lot of people don't try because they're afraid of being turned down. But Musashi taught that real strength doesn't come from approval from other people. Respect yourself, and other people will respect you, he said. In other words, if we put our sense of self-worth on what other people think, we will always be dependent on them. Rejection doesn't make you who you are. It just means that something didn't fit right. Don't take failure personally. Instead, see it as a chance to try something else. You get closer to the right chance with every no. Musashi never cared what other people thought. He believed in his own skills and his mission. We need to learn how to think the same way. Realizing that everyone gets turned down is one way to get over the fear of it. Even the most famous people have been turned down a lot of times. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, was turned down by many companies before she found success. People told Walt Disney he didn't have any ideas. Being able to get past failure is what sets successful people apart from those who stay stuck. Because they know their road is their own, warriors don't worry about being turned down. Focus on your goal instead of trying to get approval. When you get turned down, accept it, learn from it, and keep going. Remind yourself that rejection is not a stop sign, but a moving stone to something better, and spend time with people who make you feel good. Step 3. Fear of uncertainty. One of the main things that holds people back in life is their fear of the unknown. You don't want to take a chance when you don't know all the answers. This is called fear of the unknown. You think, what if it doesn't work out? What if I pick the wrong thing? This fear makes people hesitate, put things off, and miss out on chances. But the famous warrior Miyamoto Musashi saw uncertainty as a normal part of life. He thought that a fighter shouldn't be afraid of the unknown. Instead, he should trust his ability to change. You must know that there are multiple ways to reach the peak of the mountain, Musashi said one time. In other words, there's always more than one way to move forward. There will always be another way, even if one is unclear or blocked. People who are afraid of the unknown often think they need to know for sure what will happen before they move. In fact, though, life never gives you a 100% sure path. The important thing is to act even though you don't know everything ahead of time. Think about the great leaders and fighters who have come before you. They didn't wait until everything was just right. They kept going and changed as they went. Musashi never stayed in one place for too long or got too cozy. He was always moving. He knew that uncertainty wasn't something to be afraid of, but something to be good at dealing with. The man trained his mind to be open to new ideas, his body to be strong, and his heart to not be scared by what he didn't know. Focus on what you can change, your acts, your attitude, and your preparation to get over your fear of the unknown. Don't let the unknown stop you. Instead, take small steps forward. Having more experience makes you more confident. It is said that the more you face uncertainty, the stronger and more flexible you become. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It's a chance. Every problem and every uncertain event is a chance to learn and grow. When you're okay with not knowing what will happen, you let options come up that you never thought of. Believe in yourself, take a step forward, and let the trip change you. Step 4. Fear of change. One of the worst things that can happen in life is change. It changes what we know, makes us question our habits, and pushes us into the unknown. This fear is so strong for many that they will do anything to avoid change, even if it makes them unhappy. The famous warrior Miyamoto Musashi, on the other hand, knew that change is not something to be afraid of. It's something to master instead. As he often said, do not stay in one place. Go on. This lesson helps us remember that we can't grow without changing. Doubt is often what makes people afraid of change. As much as it hurts, we hold on to what we know because it makes us feel safe. We don't want to change because we're afraid of what will happen next. This is true for jobs, relationships, and ways of thinking. But Musashi thought a fighter should be able to change. Being rigid is dangerous in battle. A warrior would lose if he refused to change his moves to match those of his opponent. Life works the same way. People who fight change stay the same, while people who welcome it get better. Changing the way you think can help you get over your fear of change. Change shouldn't be seen as a loss. It should be seen as a chance. Every brave soldier, leader, and inventor has had to deal with change at some point. Musashi changed all the time in his own life. He went on trips all over Japan to learn new skills and get better at what he did. He would not have become the famous fighter he is today if he had been afraid of change. Preparation is another important thing to do to get over this fear. Musashi thought that a warrior could face any task with confidence if they trained hard and followed the rules. When you mentally and physically get ready for change, it's easier to handle. If you don't want to change jobs, learn new things first. Build a support system if you're afraid to leave a bad relationship. When you learn new things and build up your strength, you're ready for any change that comes your way. So, start to change in small ways. You don't have to change everything right away. Start by making small changes in your life. For example, try a new routine, question a belief that is holding you back, or take a small risk. You'll gain the confidence to make bigger changes with each step. As Musashi said, the only thing that stays the same in life is change. To be afraid of it is to be afraid of growth. Change can be your worst enemy, but if you learn to deal with it, it can make you stronger, smarter, and more successful. Step 5. Fear of judgment. Fear of being judged is a big problem for living an honest life because it gets people stuck in a cycle of doubting themselves and hesitating. Legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi thought that a fighter should not care what other people think because it wastes time and energy to worry about what other people will think. People don't care as much about themselves as they think they do, and what other people think doesn't make them valuable. Musashi lived by this rule and only thought about getting better as a fighter and strategist. To get over being afraid of being judged, you need to change your perspective and ask yourself, whose opinion really matters? Actions shouldn't be based on the thoughts of people who don't help growth. Musashi lived by his own rules and didn't try to get praise from other people. He believed in being independent and strong inside. Keeping your mind on your goal can help you get over your fear of being judged. People who are great at coming up with new ideas, making art, or leading often get to move forward even after being criticized. Musashi also said that people should always be getting better because trusting one's skills replaces fear. Putting yourself around positive people and ignoring negative ones can help you get over your fears. Getting over your fears can give you real freedom, the power to be yourself, take risks, and go after your dreams without holding back. Step 6. Fear of not being good enough, imposter syndrome. Have you ever done something great, but felt like you didn't deserve it? Do you always doubt your skills, even when other people say nice things about your work? This is imposter syndrome, which means the fear that you're not good enough. It's the thought that you're not as skilled as people think, that your success is just luck, and that people will eventually find out. This fear gets to even the most successful people. He said, "The over-the-top respect in which my life's work is held makes me very ill at ease. I have to think of myself as an unintentional con artist." Think about how common this fear is if someone as smart as Einstein felt it. Like many other people, Miyamoto Musashi knew that questioning is a normal part of growing up. He knew that self-doubt could stop a fighter in his tracks, though. "You can only fight the way you train," he told her. This means that confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you work on by being disciplined, getting ready, and taking action. When you feel like you're not good enough, ask yourself, what did I do to get ready? It means you are ready if you have worked hard. No one's skills are perfect, including yours. Believe it or not. Believing is what sets successful people apart from those who stay stuck. People who succeed decide to act even though they have questions. To get over this fear, you must first understand that your thoughts are not always true. It's not true that you feel like a fake just because you think so. It tricks your mind into making your weaknesses seem worse than they really are while downplaying your strengths. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, think about what you do have. Write down all of your wins, no matter how small. When you start to question yourself, read over your accomplishments to remind yourself of how far you've come. Accepting that you will always be learning is another way to deal with this fear. Musashi thought that getting better was an ongoing process. Even after he became a famous fighter, he never thought he was done learning. If you think you don't know enough, use that to push yourself to learn more, not as a reason to stop. Ultimately, do something. Fear grows when you don't act. Your worries get stronger as time goes on. Trust grows when you do something, even if it's something small. The simple idea behind Musashi was, train hard, fight easy. Get ready, keep learning, and have faith in your own skills. You can do it. You deserve it. You are more than enough.